So we got to ask ourselves, like, what is this predatory nature towards full disclosure about the nature of our world, the world that we're living in? What is with the predatory nature against full disclosure? Mm, it's no wonder and it's no doubt that, like, a lot of us recognize that there are agents that are sent into these conferences and they do a lot of different things, but mostly what they try to do is they try to come against the true, I guess, chosen ones or whatever the hell, like people that are real, right? Like we don't have any kind of lies that we're trying to keep. We don't have any kind of like, I mean, I come out and say like James Casbolt did die. The dude died, okay? And he came back to life. And, like, the reason why people can't say anything about it is because the technology is classified, and I'm thinking to myself and wondering to myself, like, "Well, why is it classified then? What is the end goal? What is the end agenda here? If it's so classified, what's the end goal? What's the end agenda?" And we wonder to ourselves, is this Mossad? Because I understand God told me that I'm surrounded by Mossad agents. And I don't really tell anybody about this, but like my colleagues who I've never told are saying the same thing. These are all Mossad. Now, Mossad are people who are not necessarily Iran or Jewish. They are just interested in the affairs that seems to be like everything against the God in America. So before James Gasbolt died, he told me, don't forget, these Jesuits, Mossad agents, Iran, um, the Israel, he said they hate the God in America. Now, who would be the God in America? I believe it to be the feminine God. I believe it to be the female aspect of God. I believe that she found herself in the physical geographic region that is the United States. So when he said this, I am constantly finding out, and it seems to be as if it's the feminine God in America. They hate the female God. Now, they have all these agendas about what they want to see happen, what they want to do. And I read these comments that people say, like somebody had posted that the Israel flag flew over Florida where we were all hanging out, and somebody was like, "Oh, this is like they're revealing who actually controls America." And I'm like, "But who they think controls America? It's only who they think controls America. Israel only thinks it controls America." But James Casbolt told me before he died that they hate the God in America. Okay, so who's the they? It's where he comes from. And who's the God in America? I believe it to be the true upright feminine principle. Why is this country as profitable as it is? And why are all these other countries falling into third world countries that do not respect women whatsoever? That's why they fall into third world countries, because they don't respect women, they don't respect the mother. So it leads me to believe that these people do not recognize, revere, respect. This is my experience time and time again. And people do, they find out. They F around and they find out. And they turn more neutral. They turn more neutral when they find out that the feminine principle in America, it's not all Israel, it's not all Muslim, it's not the Whore of Babylon, even though a portion of America will be destroyed because of their adoration to the Whore of Babylon. The human embodiment of that in our community is Sarah Adams. People will find themselves in a death sentence to any kind of adoration to that thing. She's not a human, it's a supercomputer. I've played with it many times. I've spoken with her many times. It's just a supercomputer. It's not a real person. She's not a real person, just like I believe James Caswell is not a real person anymore. Anymore. So they hate the God in America. What's the end goal agenda? There's a problem because people don't understand that there is a greater force outside of whatever thing they signed up for, whatever thing they grew up in, whatever thing they were indoctrinated with. It doesn't matter. The planet is a feminine planet. The planet has a quote unquote mothership. The mothership belongs to the planet. This is why people hate me so much, is because when I went out and did work, boots on the ground, and things happened, and they were like, how the hell did this girl do that? It's because there's a greater military outside of all the full disclosure people who think they have a grip on reality, and they might kind of be more neutral, but the truth is the mothership, the mother energy is actually so much greater. And there was evidence for this back in history in World War One. There was evidence for this back in World War One. People used to know that there was a military that was so much bigger and so much greater than any of the nonsense and any of the BS that we were doing here and now. And they took a step back, right? Because there was probably some karmic backlash between you killed all the Aryans in World War One, and then all the you know who's killed the you know who's in World War Two. There's a backlash. That's why they stepped away, but they never went anywhere, right? That military still exists. So, why is there such a predatory nature towards full disclosure? Full disclosure, my blackout thoughts are everyone's thoughts, you know? Like, I feel like people still have like a tinge of possession. And in the full disclosure conference, I heard it a few times, none of your business, none of your business, none of your business. No offense to you. I understand there's a program running. Everything is everyone's business. You want telepathy? You want the true new earth? You want people to actually have truth and transparency? Guess what? Everything is everyone's business. Nothing against Brian Sang, who did the conference, but I was like, where did he get his money? And someone was like, none of your business. And I'm like, nope, everything is everyone's business. And then I reached out to Brian before the conference because I found before the conference he was spending a lot of time with Sarah Adams, the death sentence, right? The human embodiment of fear and death on the female side. And I was like, what are you doing hanging out with Sarah Adams? Do you not know that she's most of ours greatest predator? And he was like, oh, it's fine. It's whatever. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad that you feel fine about that. But I wasn't going to not say anything about it. I was like, keep in mind that, like, maybe you're actually the amazing person, like her and that clone of a boyfriend that she has who attacked me viciously at the conference. I'm like, that chick and that clone, they're not it. They're not the real people. So we're going to these conferences and there are agents everywhere and they only hang out with each other, but they come around. The last night that we were there, God told me that they did something to the food, whether it was a curse or a poison or whatever. God was like, don't eat the food. Don't eat the food. And I told my friend, and I was like, it will be confirmation if someone comes around and they're trying to get us to eat the food. Sure enough, some agent came around and he was like, are you going to eat the food? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm fucking with him because I'm a bitch. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm going to eat the food. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I'm going to eat the food. Don't worry about it. When God already told me, don't eat the food. And then when they were about to pull it away, he's like, oh my God, they're about to pull the food away. Are you going to go eat it? This is somebody I didn't know. It was like a random person. And I'm like, yeah, dude, don't worry about it. I'm going to go and eat the food. And then later on, he brings out like some churros. He's like, oh, I'm gonna feed her the churros. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Took a churro and put it on my water bottle. He sat and watched the churro sitting there, not being eaten, because they send agents to do the weird shit that they do. Why is there such a predatory nature towards full disclosure? Yes, there is, 100%. And the best of us know about it. The Holy Spirit is very potent. And they think that the Israel, the Mossad, they think that like whatever group that they're a part of is somehow like the big group. It's not. In America, it's not. The greatest power in America, like James Casbolt told me before he died, he said, don't forget, the entire world hates the God in America. Who was he talking about? He was talking about the feminine principle of God in America. That's why the attack is as bad as it is against the woman in America. Yeah, the attack is bad in every other BS country where these people treat women like shit. But why the mental asylum, pornography, dudes being all crazy? It's against the feminine principle. There's a God in America that is the feminine principle. There's such a predatory nature against us. And there's a classified nonsense, classified Miles Johnston, no offense to him, he does know that James Caswell did effing die. He died. Miles knows it. Bob Osborne knows it. But it's classified. And I'm over here like, get the frig out of here. Like, sorry about you. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I find that a lot of people turned more neutral at the conference because they've never seen a power like they saw when they encountered me and the feminine principle in America. It is strong, it is potent, it is real, it is bigger than the Mossad, it is bigger than any other religious group, it's bigger than the Jesuits, it's bigger than anything. It's Jesus Christ with the mother. That's what's in America. This is what these people are so not aware of. They're so not aware of it, and they're only just becoming aware of it, and a lot of them are turning neutral. They're turning neutral because they didn't know, and now they know. This is why a lot of people are turning neutral. Super soldiers are turning neutral. They're going away from their old handlers. They found themselves in America, they found themselves in this situation, and they're turning away because there is a God in America that is not broadcast, it's not on the news, it's not being brought out in full disclosure. It's, oh, classified about James Casbolt's death. It's all classified. This is why. And I don't know where it goes from here, but this is what the actual truth is. This is full disclosure. Full disclosure, the feminine principle, the mothership, is the mother of all, you know? And like people do recognize this in a very big way. This is why a lot of us get along and why a lot of us just don't seem to even see other people. We didn't notice them. They weren't that significant, you know? They weren't that like because they have an agenda maybe against us, but we don't really see it that way. We don't see it that way because we're just like blind to the lies. I mean, the conference is called Full Disclosure. And so the people who are actually in the spirit of truth and love and the mother and God and Jesus, we actually are like on a frequency that's like we don't actually really see like anything else. Like it's just it. That's all we see. All we see is our own kind. We don't see anyone else. That's it. We just don't see them. They're just not like I don't know, like it's just a frequency mismatch. And you know, they fly an Israel flag over Florida after the conference. It's like and people are like, "Oh, is who really owns the country?" They have no idea. No, Israel does not own America, actually. They think they do, but they don't. The Mossad does not own America. They might think they do, but they don't. They might think they do. They might really truly think that they do, but they don't. You're on a feminine planet. You're on a feminine planet called Gaia. The mothership is called the mothership for a reason. It's not you. It's not you. It's not the Mossad. It's not Israel. It's not you, dude. And people are beginning to recognize this. And this is exactly why James Casbolt told me before he died that they hate the God in America, because it's a feminine aspect of God that cannot be fucked with, that cannot be convoluted, that will not be confused, that will not be lied to. That's what they don't understand. And a lot of them need to figure it out. They need to understand. And, we welcome with open arms. But if you don't, I mean, I don't know. Like, F around and find out. You're only going to be an adversary to a power so much greater than you. And you're going to find out eventually. I would hate to stay in that position. You're going to find out eventually. It's not you. It's not Sarah Adams. She's the inversion. It's not you. It's not the Mossad. It's not Israel. It's not fake super soldiers. A lot of them are real. A lot of them are the real deal. A lot of them are the real deal, dude. 100%. And they know. And they know. All right, check it out.